I posted on social media every single day for 90 days, and it actually changed my music career. I went from almost quitting to living entirely off music. But here's the thing, I didn't have a content strategy, I didn't hire a team, I didn't make fancy music videos or do photo shoot with like graffiti on the walls behind me. I just went in and made posting habitual. That one shift changed everything for me. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to make social media habitual. And I'm giving you 60 post ideas so you can start today. Let's get into it. If you're anything like me, you probably don't really like social media. As an artist, it's very confronting. You didn't really sign up for this, right? You probably think that you're here to make music, you're not here to make content, and making social media posts can feel like a waste of time. Not only that, when content becomes so important, you can start having thoughts like, what should I make in my music for the content that I'll post, which is completely the opposite. Or at least it feels like it for most artists that I know. I can tell you on myself that I absolutely hated social media for the decade that I've been touring. I've played the biggest festivals that I dreamt of playing, and I have like 5 photos from them. And also that's from friends. I have a few videos coming from an iPhone of some random person at the dance floor. Even though it would have been so nice to have those memories, I hated social media so much that I didn't even want to murky the water between art and social media. It always felt icky to me. But from where I'm standing today, I actually have a completely different way of looking at it that helps me make social media easy for me. I find social media attractive. It adds fuel to the business that I'm trying to build in the world and the value that I'm trying to give, rather than take away energy from everyone else on the other side of the internet. So for me, it all started a few years ago when I became a dad, and music wasn't bringing a sustainable income to the house, so I had to find other things to do. I started doing gardening and landscaping and a few other jobs that came by. In those jobs, I got absolutely hooked on podcasts and books for business and entrepreneurship. And as I was learning what it takes to make money in this real world after being a musician for more than a decade, I learned all these skills. So I started learning more skills like web development and web design that I want to start businesses from, because I always knew that music would never cut it. So I started an agency. Then I dabbled with AI apps, and I built some of those and almost pursued one to the point of absolute development. And throughout all these ideas, I took what I learned from the business and podcasts about entrepreneurship and tried to put it to those new ideas. Until one day I thought to myself, why wouldn't I put all that information into music, into the thing that I actually enjoy doing always for more than a decade? And that day I actually listened to Stephen Bartlett from the Diary of a CEO podcast talk about how you only have control about your output. You don't have control on the outcome. And how he started by saying, I'm just going to post every day on social media. And he told his story, and obviously now he's a gajillionaire and whatever. And in a way, it's not that that was news to me, but at that day, at that time, I just decided that I'm going to do the thing and I'm going to post on social media for 90 days and see what's going to happen. I thought to myself, I've been making music for over a decade. Surely I have enough photos of myself in gigs and shows and traveling the world and whatever it would take for me to make enough posts on social media just so I can finish that challenge. I didn't even think about what's going to happen. As I started the challenge, I faced the reality of having 10 photos from a decade of touring, and that made me get really creative with the things that I can post. So I started getting into it, and that led me to do some research and more research and more research, coming up with more ideas and more creative ideas. And all of a sudden, the fact that I was showing up every day to do a thing added up to the identity of me being an artist that shows up to do the thing. Making social media habit actually helped me heaps with shifting my identity into someone that's showing up to do the thing. Because for that decade, I showed up to do the music thing over and over again, day by day. I absolutely love that. I'm obsessed with and making music. But that's not all there is to it. We need to run a business. And if we're trying to make it as an electronic music producer, you want to run a global digital business. And for you to run a global digital business, you need to be on social media where everyone else is. So before I get too deep into it, just because those 90 days changed the trajectory of my life, the music producer. I'm not saying exactly the same thing will happen to you, but it is very clear to me that the correlation between those 90 days of posting to the change that I had in my life is huge. So here are 3 things that you need to do in order for you to have some sort of positive change from something like that. And the first thing is to make it habitual. And as I said before, this isn't necessarily about discipline, but it's more about your identity change. Most artists think they need more willpower to post consistently, but willpower runs out. What you need is to become the kind of person that does those things. By doing the thing again and again, you change the identity of who it is that you are. I felt that identity shift pretty soon after I started, because I started getting fired up by the fact that I became a doer rather than someone that waits for someone to notice their post. Or more accurately, because I only posted like 3 times a month or whenever I had something to say, I didn't actually have enough data to analyze what is going on my social media. Hence, it always became such a mess for me to try to understand. So here's what we do. We commit to 90 days. And if not 90 days, 60 days. And if not 60 days, 30 days. Make a commitment. You against you. But every single day, no exceptions. It's not when you feel inspired. It's not about having something good to post. It's about doing the thing. That's what I did. And I became a different person. I can see how important social media is for me to live out of my music. And to make it easier on you, in the link in the description, you can actually find 60 post ideas. Not all of them are perfect. I'm sure you're going to find a bunch of them very cringy. There's only a certain amount of ways I can help you coming from the point of view that I have to your story. You need to figure out your story and what the goal of your social media and business in the world is, to try to add value from your point of view to the followers that you have. But again, because this is just to make it habitual, I would genuinely try to put your ego aside and do the thing for the sake of doing the thing. By all means, change what you need to feel better about your social media presence, but at least do the thing. If making a change will make you not post that day, just post something cringy. Please do it for yourself. Now, the second thing you want to do is make it frictionless. Forming habits most of the time fall on friction. If it's too hard to do, you won't do it. And in the beginning, you probably don't want it hard enough. Even if this YouTube video is very convincing to you, it's still hard to do the thing. I know, I've done it gajillions of times. James Clear talked about it in his book, Atomic Habits, how you can make good habits easy and bad habits hard. For example, to make this YouTube video, I had my camera ready, my mic ready, my script ready, all the day before, so when I come here, I just press and start talking to the camera. If I wouldn't have that, it would have taken more time and I would probably find excuses in my head to not do it today. So to make it frictionless, use what you already have. When I started and I thought to myself, what else can I do to add things to the calendar? I thought I already have a webcam and a mic, and I have a lot of friends that make music. What if I just start a podcast and start talking to producer friends? I hit up some mates, got a conversation going, and I uploaded the first podcast episode. It's not perfect, it's very raw, but it doesn't matter. It's there for you to make it habitual. And on the way, I had heaps of fun talking to my friends about music, which on the way gave value to a lot of younger producers that are on the journey of making it. Making something frictionless doesn't mean to go cheap for the sake of cheap, but try to find what it is that you already have that can add value to other people's lives and that can make this good habit an easy one. And the third thing is to use it wisely. And in my opinion, this is where most artists fail, or at least completely miss the point. Most artists use social media as a notice board. This is where we announce things to our fans. New track out, new EP out, look at me playing a show last week, come to my show in a month from now, whatever it is, you just announce. This is your notice board for the fans of the brand. And the brutal truth is that at least at the beginning, not a lot of people care. This is why I know from a lot of artists that when they post the cover art of their album, they get the least amount of likes. And then they blame the algorithm or capitalism or whatever it is that artists blame, instead of understanding that when you post a video with your face and it gets more likes, maybe that's how you should promote your album. When you do this a lot, you can get data to refine the way you should use these marketing tools. Now, it's not that nobody cares, but for you to push content onto the people that look at your brand from the other side of the internet, after a while, unless they're obsessed with your music and can't wait for another show, it would just push them away from your pages. They wouldn't engage. Yes, your friends will be happy for you and some fans will be happy for you, but for you to start ranking up and get strangers to come into your world, you need to communicate more instead of broadcast. Give value instead of take attention. And if you can somehow stop making it about yourself and make it about other people and the value you can bring them, you're gonna accelerate that process. The whole creator economy is built on this one principle of give value first. So this is what I started doing. And I leaned on the thing that I can help with. I have a lot of videos on this channel that talk about a lot of this stuff, separating art from business and how artists are using social media wrong. I go a bit more in depth about everything that I'm saying here. And there is a lot of nuance, and it kind of depends on the brand you want to bring to the world, which also you can find a video in my channel. But if you're here to build a personal brand, which is what it is that I recommend doing, these are the 3 things you need to do to at least make social media habitual and accelerate the journey that you're on. So for me, if you make it habitual, which to make it habitual, you'll probably want to make it frictionless, and to make it stick completely, you'd want to start sharing rather than taking. You're gonna change the relationship you have with social media in less than those 30 days that you're going to post for. Hopefully 90, but I understand you. Now, if you're up for the challenge, go to the link in the description, grab those 60 posts, and go post for at least 30 days straight. There's more ideas than you need, because I understand that not everyone's gonna vibe with it, and that's completely fine. But remember, it doesn't really matter. This is about changing your identity. You want to do this for the sake of making this thing habitual. If you understand that social media is the way you communicate your brand for the potential audience that you have globally in this digital era that we're in, then this is your chance to do the thing. This is your cue to start. It doesn't matter if you wouldn't get likes. It doesn't matter if no one will comment. For now, we don't care. It's about changing yourself. Inevitably, you'd like to get more and more interactions, will hopefully get you consuming more and more content about how to make your content better. That you can find gajillions of resources about this online, on YouTube, and whatever it is. Please go, do the thing. I'm really excited for you, because genuinely this thing changed my life. It's very funny to say, but social media did it. After hating it for a decade, I can't believe I'm the person that's telling you this, but go and change your life by posting on social media and help your music echo further and further and further and resonate with more and more people that will now know who you are, because you're gonna share and give and be out there in the world. Go grab the post, put it in your calendar, do the thing, and good luck.